Okay, my name is Robert Anderson. I'm going to do the video source analysis for the Ibn al-Atirth and the Tartars. I believe this source is a normative source because it tells you the norms and ideals of the society in which Ibn al-Atirth lived in, um, like the normal situation of when the Mongols attacked. So, Ibn al-Atirth was a historian of the Umar Jazir Empire of the Caliphate. Um, his audience for this text is for anybody who wanted to know what happened during his time period. In fact, from the beginning, um, he says, I say, therefore, this thing involves the description of the greatest catastrophe and the most dire calamity which befall men generally and the Muslims in particular. So, what he's describing here is basically he's telling his audience is he's about to explain the worst tragedy in his lifetime. Um, and this happened during 1220 to 1221 BC, so just a year. So the expected uses of the material to shape its contents, I believe the Quran shaped the content of what he is describing, mostly because he states God in looks like every paragraph here, God or either Muslim. Um, I don't know if it was translated to God from English. I believe it might have been, but if so, I do find it odd that they don't have the word Allah in there. Um, so that is the one thing I found that is odd. So what is the basis of the author's knowledge? Ibn al-Satirth, like I said earlier, was a historian, so he was used to writing about the events of his time. And like I said earlier, in fact, even in the beginning, he said he didn't want to write about this. At least that's what I took it as. Um, so what? How does he know what he knows? Well, Ibn al-Atirth knows what the events that happened because it was first-hand evidence. He actually witnessed the Mongols arriving in Jerusalem. Well, the story is or the events that took place, according to Ibn al-Atirth, was he was living in Jerusalem or in the area, and the Mongols, also called the Tartars in his text, attacked. And he explained that they killed men, women, children, and they even killed unborn children by ripping the unborn child out of the womb of the woman. Um, so that's the basic story. So how does he know what he knows? Is because he witnessed and it was firsthand evidence. We can back this up from other text and items about the Mongol conquest. For example, as far as Europe, there was a artifacts found from the um, Mongol area. Um, Now, the author tries to simplify the story by categorizing the events that happen in um, categorizing by events that have happened. So he starts off by saying that they first attacked Jerusalem, then they went to India. The Mongols went to India, and so on and so forth. I also think he categorizes it as Muslim and non-Muslim as well, because the Mongols were not Muslim. Now, I believe the basic assumption the author makes about the human nature of the Mongols is that they were barbarics and savages, and that killed everybody in their way. It's also assumed that, I think he wants us to assume that the Muslim community was different in their ways at the time. I believe the author believes this is a story of decline for his community, particularly because in the beginning he said he didn't even want to write about it. But in my opinion, I believe it's, even though he thought it was a story of decline, I believe it's progress, because the Mongols brought better interconnectivity throughout the world as far as trade and religion and everything like that. And the author wants us to formally recognize that the Mongols destroyed his way of life during that time period. Thank you.